So what is super important in Amazon FBA is analysing data, and coming into this business you're probably massively unsure on how Keepa graphs work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down a Keepa graph that'll be new off account, BSR and the Keepa graphs just in general, price history, all that good stuff. So I'm going to make it super simple and everyone should be able to understand this. So let's get straight into it. On here, if you download Keepa, if you download SAS, you will see a graph somewhere. And often, well, on all of it, you see a pink line. Let's get it on here. Pink line. That represents the buy box. So for anyone that doesn't know what the buy box is, the buy box is the price that the item sells at. So the buy box is constantly fluctuating. You've got new people coming onto a listing and they might undercut the price by 50p. They sell out, the price goes up to the person that next has it in stock. So a buy box could look like this. It could go up, down, down, up, down, and something like this is something that we generally stay away from. Because what does that tell me? That tells me that the price is unstable. It tells me it's constantly fluctuating. There's people coming on and off the listing. The price is going up, down, up, down, up, down, which could put us in a position of where we could be making no money. So let's just say up here the price is at £15, and down here the price is at £11. So if we were to buy a product, put it in our software, which is SAS, and the sale price were to be £15, and let's just say our cost price was £7, and we were making, let's just say, £2 profit on it. Right, what happens when the price then goes down to 11? So £4 has been taken off. You were making £2 profit on the initial investment. If it drops to 11, then you're in minus. So what I'm always doing when looking at a Keepa graph is trying to factor in the lowest price that the product's been at. So if I put my cost price into that, it tells me that I'm not making profit. Fair enough, let's just say it's been down here for a week. In the last 3 months, it's been down there a week. That's telling me that on average, it's not actually 11. So it could be like 12.50, for instance, where you'd only be making a slight loss. But if you're making a loss, then that's telling you that you want to stay away from it. Maybe we could make a better example on a longer time frame of like a year. Right, so we're now on a 12-month time period, and this is always something that you want to do when looking at a Keepa graph, is not fixate yourself on 3 months, not fixate yourself on the last month. You want to do it over like a year, or even go further back. But a year is what we generally work on. So instead of that graph being all over the place, because we're on a smaller time frame, it's not going to be as volatile. So it might be like that. This would be like the point, for instance, that I was talking about before, where it got down to 11 and up here's 50. On average, within the software, you'll be able to see the average price it was sold at over the last 12 months. So on average, it might actually be selling at 12, let's say 13 quid. On average, it's selling at 13 quid. So let's backtrack and say that we could actually source that product for £6. And you might be making £1.20 profit, which is 20% ROI, which is the industry standard. If you're new to it, you want to be earning a little bit more. But let's just say we could source it for £6, we're making £1.20 profit, and the average buy box were £13 across the year. For small time periods like this, and like this, let's just bring this line a little bit higher, because that looks as if it's lower. So our average price is £13. There's time periods like these where the price has dipped, and let's just say these are 4-week time periods. That's 4 week, that's 2 week, that's 3 week. So all in, if the product were to have dropped, you're not actually going to be holding it that long within these time periods to where you need to sell it and you're going to lose money. You just hold on to it and then you sell it at a profitable price, which is what we do. We sometimes hold stock for 45, 60 days. Ideally, we want it turning within like 30, but there are always times where you sell it a bit later just because price has dropped. You've got different Keepa graphs for different things, like I was saying. You've got one for sell account, which we'll put underneath here now, because this is going to directly correlate with the price. So when the price is pretty stable and it's not fluctuating like this tells me that there's a stable amount of people that are on the buy box. So let's just say it goes like this. Price goes down, sell account comes up. Price goes up, sell account goes down. And then levels out where it goes flat. It's like polar opposite. It's like whatever's happening up here, it's doing the opposite down here. So when price goes down, new offer count comes up. So it's important to look at new offer count, because if it starts to spike and you can see it spiking, this means that generally the price is going to come down. So let's just say you were about to buy a lead and it started to spike here. You can see that the product's widely accessible on the internet, which tells me more people are going to buy it. So if I'm seeing the offer count spiking up, the buy box slightly coming down, and if I'm not getting it at a ridiculously cheap price to where I'm making a bunch of money on it, or it's nice ROI, then I'll generally stay away, because if the lead's super accessible, everyone else is going to jump on it and I'm going to make no money. Now, the sell account is a blue line, and this is on Keepa software where it's a blue line, and that represents how many people are on the listing. Super important, you need to be looking at these at all times before buying a product. It's product analysis, and this is all Amazon is. Like, it's not complicated. All you're doing is looking at this. Like, this is just second nature to me now. As someone new looking at that, it probably might go over your head a little bit and you'll go, wow, I didn't really get that, but give it 2 weeks, trust me, it's fucking easy. Lastly, what we have is the BSR. So that stands for bestseller rank. And this also directly correlates to the buy box. You'll find a lot of things work around the buy box. Buy box goes up, sell account goes down. Now, buy box goes up, BSR goes up. So what a BSR is best seller rank. Let's talk whiteboard pens. So if this whiteboard pen was a BSR of 1 on Amazon, that would mean that it's the best selling in its category. So we have whiteboard pens, we've got 30,000 of them, let's say. Now this is number 1, which tells me it's the best seller. If there's a whiteboard pen at 30,000 BSR, that means, generally speaking, it's not going to be selling well. Because you've got things like beauty products where you've got like 1 million products within that one category. So if you were to buy something and it were like 30,000 BSR in the beauty category where there's 1 million products, then it's going to be selling well. But this is like the bottom of the barrel now. 30,000 BSR in whiteboard pens when there's only 30,000 in that category. It's going to be selling rubbish. So if a BSR is 1, it's unbelievable. The higher it goes, the worse it goes. You've got to remember that. Let's just say 30k in whiteboard pens. And now all this represents the whiteboard pen. So what happens when the price goes up is you'll see within the BSR chart, so this is the BSR, you'll see it flicking. You'll see it flicking. When the price goes down, generally a product sells better. So what does the BSR do? It comes down. Price goes up, BSR comes up. Price goes down, BSR comes down. And this is how it works. So when you see it right at the bottom, that means that's when it's selling the most. When the product drops in BSR, the sales are booming, absolutely booming. So this works on like seasonal products and stuff. If we're looking at Christmas wrapping paper, the BSR is super high all year round. It gets to November, December, and it drops and it goes right to the bottom because that's when it starts selling. Looking at a Keepa graph, these are the 3 things that you're looking at. And this is Keepa broke down pretty simply in terms of looking at a Keepa graph. Keepa, the software itself, you've got a bunch of different things within there which we teach. But if you're looking at a Keepa, that is what you're looking at. Product analysis, before buying, check it.